Hi, everyone. Welcome again to the sixth episode of the podcast series Life Inside Out. Today, we are yet again there in front of you, myself and Sai, uh, to again engage with you and with ourselves in a conversation so that we can bring some value, we can bring some insight for yourself, for you all, so that you can create greater meaning for your life and a greater well-being for your life. So, hello Sai, how are you?
Hi Ranjit, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderfully well. Thank you, Sai. So, like we normally do, Sai, as always, has some topic, some question in mind, and that is what we will take for our conversation today as well. So, over to you, Sai, for you to take a lead on this and yeah, fire on your questions or the topics that you want to discuss today.
Sure, Ranjit. Thank you. So, today I wanted to discuss with you about the term, work-life balance. I myself have used this statement a lot of times when back in the days when I was working in IT as a
Work-life
software engineer.
balance. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's a very hot topic.
yeah. It is a very hot topic still now. When I go to LinkedIn and then I search about it, I see a lot of people talking about it.
Correct, correct, correct.
But I could only connect with very, very few people, when they share certain things. The reason I say that is, see, now I'm running a business. Back 6 years back, I used to, work as a software engineer. When I was working, I still remember that a majority of my time I used to spend working. Even on weekends, I did not know what to do. I used to spend working. So I started using the term work life balance, uh, not really knowing what is the actual meaning behind work life balance. So my definition of
Hmm.
work life balance is I am working certain hours a day, let's say 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day. After those 10 hours, I'm again still working. Okay? So there was time for me, but I was still working. So what is your definition of work life balance?
Yeah, it's an interesting topic, and why I say it's an interesting topic, Sai, is because see, we all talk about work-life balance, and many a times we don't completely get an understanding of what it is.
Correct.
Yeah, we all talk it, but many a times we don't get that understanding. See, first of all, I would like to give an idea about where we see this work life balance coming into discussion or coming into conversation. See, one is we see it in individuals who feel they are spending a lot of time on work.
Hmm.
They see that they are spending a lot of time on work, nothing else. That's the only thing that they see, and you would see them telling that work life balance is not there. Then you will also see individuals who are spending a lot of time on work, but they see the impact of that time that they're spending on work on their personal activities, like the time that they spend with family or the time that they want to spend for going for any functions or events or any activities. Correct, they see that time that they're spending in office is somehow impacting or limiting them to spend time on the other side or personal activities. So that's another kind of individuals that you will see. The third
Hmm.
type of individuals are, there are certain individuals who are very clear about what they want to pursue beyond work in life. Correct? Like some wants to pursue creative expression, some want to pursue health expressions like running or those kind of things. Correct. So when they see that the amount of time that they're spending in work is not allowing them to spend the kind of time or the amount of time they want to spend on those interests or hobbies or creative expressions. Right? So they also start terming up or coming up with this word or this terminology of work life balance. So generally, you will see individuals on these two, three categories. That's where you will see that this term is coming about work life balance. But one common thing in this is the time that they're spending on work. For
Hmm.
everyone, it is coming from the time that they're spending on work. So that's the initial understanding of where you see this happening. And about work life balance, since you said what is your understanding or your definition of it, see this work life balance thing comes in because something that we want to see fulfilled is not getting fulfilled.
Hmm.
Okay? Something is there which we want to see getting fulfilled, but it's not getting fulfilled. So
Hmm.
it could be anything. And that's when people start finding reasons why it is not getting fulfilled.
Hmm.
And what they see is the chunk of time that they're spending on work comes as the
Hmm.
reason for. And that's where this terminology starts coming, work life balance. It's the time that they're spending on work is actually not allowing them to do something which they find themselves fulfilled in it. Okay.
Okay.
So that's how work life balance, or that's how it comes in, Sai.
So in that case, they are not considering work as something an important aspect in their life. Am I right? Because when they are working, they're looking at it as work. They're not looking at it as something which is also a part of their life.
Yeah, that's true. And that's a very pertinent question that you have asked. And I will give you certain situations. See what generally happens with majority of us, since you asked that question, with what happens with majority of us is you will see that majority of us want to escape work.
Correct. Yeah.
Majority of wants to escape work. And what I mean by that, they will be very happy when weekend comes. They will be very happy to go to a holiday because that's an escape for them from work. They will be very happy to engage in an interest or a hobby because it helps them to escape or go away from work. Okay. So, what it means is they are not enjoying their work. Correct. And that's why they want to see themselves moving away from it so that they can enjoy spend some time in something else.
Hmm.
So, the whole, I would say, the seed of it, the the fundamental point about it is majority of us are not enjoying the work. Correct. And that's why they want to see themselves doing something which fulfills them, and that they consider as life.
Hmm.
And that's how this work and life comes into perspective.
Okay.
You're getting it? So life is something which will have fulfill them, which will give them joy, happiness. And obviously that is coming when they escape from work. And why?
Okay.
Because they are not feeling fulfilled in. So that's how the terminology of work life comes in. And as you rightly said, that's how they find that as separate. They feel that as a separate part and not an integral part of that life.
Okay. But Ranjit, see, there's a small catch here. So let's take an regular employee who's working 5 days a week. He doesn't like his work. I mean, how, let's say about 90 to 95% of the people who talk about work-life balance and all, let's just say, assume that they don't like the work which they are doing. So the 5 days they're working, and then the 2 days. So is my assumption right that they are using those 2 days to do things which makes them feel that time doesn't exist? Because the reason I'm asking that question is that, let's say, you give an employee or an individual saying that, okay, from now there's no work, you go and do whatever you want to do. And yes, getting that initial freedom is great. Now he goes on doing what he wants to do, and after a month he again gets feels bored with that. Let's say someone loves traveling, right? He goes on, travels back and forth again, he goes everywhere, so he definitely gets bored with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right, see, I worked in IT for a decade, right? So I was using my weekends to escape, so to go here and there, or to do things, or go to movies and all. So what essentially I was doing is I was trying to escape time by engaging myself in entertainment, right, so that I can escape time.
Correct, correct,
But I don't really think that is a fulfillment. So I look at it as like, I'm trying to escape something,
correct, correct. So
right?
what I
So
understand you
yeah.
saying is that whatever 2 days that you get, the weekend or the days that we get, we try to escape from work, or we
Hmm.
find a way to escape from work and do something which we term it as life. And it will be giving fulfillment, the relaxation, or whatever it is. We term it as life. And what I'm
Hmm.
hearing you say is that whatever we do in those 2 days, it's really not fulfilling.
Yeah.
It's really not something which will fulfill you, because these are the things you're doing because you want to escape from work.
Yeah.
Correct? Am I understanding it right?
Yes, that's what I wanted to,
Yeah.
share. Yeah.
So you're absolutely right, Sai, that that is not truly fulfilling, or that's not something which will completely fulfill you. And what I mean by that, I will tell you. See, but when you look at work life balance, Sai, it's a step by step process.
Hmm.
So the first thing is you need to make sure that whatever 2 days that you get or one day that you get over a weekend, you're spending on something that is fulfilling you or giving you relaxation or not troubling you as you are getting troubled in the work.
Hmm.
Correct. So it is helping you with that.
Yes.
Correct. It is helping you with that. But that, as you rightly said, is over a period of time, it will become mundane. It will
Yes.
become routine, because you are doing it because you want to go away from something.
Yes.
Yeah. But as you rightly said, if you want to really feel fulfilled,
Hmm.
fulfilled when you are outside of work. So it's very important to know what are the things that really fulfill you.
Hmm.
So you really need to understand what are the things that truly fulfill you.
Hmm.
Right. So once you understand that, and that can be understood in various different ways, like you can understand your values, as we spoke earlier about. You can understand what are your values. That will give you an understanding of what really drives you, what really
Hmm.
motivates you or inspires you. And that can translate into understanding of what are the things that will make you fulfilled.
Hmm.
Right. And once you know that, and then you pursue that, and those are the things, even if you do for a longer period of time, you will not feel it as mundane. Because why? Because it's a part of you.
Hmm.
And the more you express that, more you grow in it. So it's your own growth through
Hmm.
that. So you will always feel more and more fulfilled in it. And you will never stop feeling fulfilled, or you will never feel mundane or routine in it, because there is a growth happening for yourself. It's an expression of you.
Okay.
Correct. So you're right. Like, ideally speaking, it's important that you find out what fulfills you and invest your time in that whenever you get time. But at least my point is, even for a starting, you should at least start spending time on something which is outside of work, even if it means you're escaping it as a start point. And slowly you can evolve it into the activities which truly fulfills.
Okay, okay. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. The reason I brought this up is because, uh, see, now when I'm running my own business, right? So there are certain things which actually really bring fulfillment to me. One is my health. When I look at myself, when I'm really in good shape, when I'm healthy, I could, feel that bliss, within my body and myself, right? Having a, fit body and, stable mind, right? So I do yoga, I do a lot of, pranayam, and I go for, sports. Okay. So I still have the same kind of time which I had 6 years back. So the only difference between back then and now is I know what are the things which are helping me. Back then I was using the same time, and in movies or any other kind of engagements where I can escape time. I'm not saying that movies are bad. I'm actually saying that the choices which I was making back then was more towards escaping the time, right? Than doing things which are actually fulfilling me.
Yeah, that's true. And I think to the point that you brought in, Sai, just
Hmm.
now, it kind of brings us to a question that how we should approach
Yes,
how we should approach work-life balance.
yes.
It brings to that question, and you have given a glimpse of it through the interaction that you did. See, one of the there are two, three things which are important if we plan to uh, move towards work-life balance. The first thing and the most important thing is to understand what are the things that fulfills you, understand the things which are important for you,
Hmm.
because it's very important to have that list.
Hmm.
Because as you rightly said, majority of the time what happens is, when we get time, all of a sudden when we get time, we really don't know what to do, and we
Yes,
spend time in just filling the time through some activities since we
yes,
have time. And as you said, we might go for a movie, we might watch something in a Netflix or something we will do.
yes.
So we will fill that time since we are
Hmm.
getting that time. So in order to avoid that and make a better use of time, it is really important that we have an understanding of what are the things that fulfills us, what are the things that is important for us or in some way completes us.
Hmm.
Like you said in your example, health, correct? It kind of fulfills and makes you feel complete in what you are. So that's the first thing which is very important in order to approach work life balance.
Hmm.
Second thing which is very important is bringing or cultivating mindfulness.
Hmm.
And why I say that is, mindfulness, like we all know, is being mindful of how we are engaging with the time that we have.
Hmm.
That is mindfulness, how we are engaging with the time that we have. And many a times what happens is that we have time,
Hmm.
but we naturally or automatically drift towards doing something of work.
Yeah.
It's not actually work related time.
Yes.
But since we have time, we naturally, that's a tendency we have created over a period of time, we naturally drift towards doing something of work.
Yes. Correct.
And that's where mindfulness is very important. That
Hmm.
awareness that you have the time and you're drifting towards that.
Yes.
And the moment you realize that, you can always bring yourself back from the work and do something which is important for you in
Hmm.
that time. So, what will happen with that is, since you're spending time on something important and you're not drifting to office, one thing is obviously you're spending time in something important for you. Second thing is, you will also start slowly realizing and acknowledging the fact that you're spending time on things that are important to you.
Yes.
So both will happen. So it will give you that satisfaction or fulfillment that you're spending time on some things that are important. So mindfulness is a very important aspect when it comes to approaching the work-life balance. So these are the few things which is important in the way you want to approach work-life balance.
Understood, Ranjit. So you exactly spoke, what I was, thinking or, understanding about. So unless we are actually mindful of, okay, what exactly is that we want to do, or understand that, what we want to do with our time. If we are not aware of that, we will, eventually be, going in circles in the same thing every day.
Yeah,
So
correct.
yeah.
And it's so beautiful because from my own experience, see, work-life balance evolves in a very beautiful way. And what I
Hmm.
mean by that is like first, when we are not at the stage of work-life balance, we feel very frustrated, we feel very irritated about how we are spending so much time in work and less time in something that we value or is important for us. But the moment you start getting an idea about what are the things that are important for you, and you start becoming mindful and start putting small time, not big time, small time in it, what happens is that naturally, since these are things which are important for you and fulfills you, you
Hmm.
start feeling good about it.
Agree.
Right? You start feeling good about it.
Agree.
And with that goodness, you feel satisfied, you feel fulfilled with it. Right? And the moment you do feel that, what you do is naturally what happens is you want to spend some more time on that. You
Hmm.
start thinking about how to spend some more time on that.
Hmm.
So that whole thought process now starts building up in terms of
Hmm.
how to build, how to change towards work-life balance or spending time towards what is important for my life. And you
Hmm.
start feeling fulfilled. And when you start feeling fulfilled, the next beautiful thing, Sai, that happens is that you start feeling less irritated at work.
Yeah.
Because if the goodness is coming here, that goodness starts spreading to this side of the element also. You start feeling
Hmm.
more less irritated, more stable at work.
Hmm.
So it starts reflecting on both the sides of what we call as work and life. So that's
Hmm.
how work-life balance, when you approach gradually, that's how it transition. That's how it kind of grows in our
Hmm.
life.
Got it, Ranjit. This was a really interesting conversation, Ranjit. The reason I say that is all the things which you're saying, I kind of knew those things in my mind and heart, but I just did not know whether this is true. So I just wanted to talk to someone and understand. But you just gave those things away, for me. So yeah, that's really great.
Yeah, I think everyone, majority of us are like you, Sai. Like we all know that we want to spend time on something which is important. We want to be mindful about it. It's just about that taking that initial few steps and going through that initial pain
Yeah,
of investing the time and creating that time. I
yeah.
think that is the only limitation or the challenge that comes in. Otherwise, we all are aware that this is something which is really important for us.
Okay. Sure, Ranjit. So I've got my answer, Ranjit. So thanks a lot for that.
And thanks for bringing such a wonderful and important topic, Sai. And I'm glad that we could at least look into it from a different perspective and also discuss things which
Yes.
will help our viewers understand, not only understand the work-life balance from a different perspective, but also take something away from it, something of value for themselves, so that they can start seeing of about implementing or approaching work-life balance in their own life. So thanks for bringing this topic, Sai.
Thank you, Ranjit, as always.
Yeah, thanks again, Sai, and thank you all viewers. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for continuing to view this episodes of podcast series Life Inside Out. as always, our intention and our effort is to bring things which will be valuable for you, which will be insightful for you, which not only enhances your life, but it also, in many ways, helps you in your overall well-being. So that's our intention. That's our overall purpose. And I hope with this episode, we were able to satisfy that intention. Do watch, continue to watch these episodes. And if there are any kind of comments or any kind of inputs that you want to share about these episodes, feel free to do that. It's on YouTube. You can feel free to put your comments there and share your inputs. It would be really valuable for us to have that. And thanks a lot once again, and we will see you again in the next episode.
Thank you, Ranjit. Thank you.